The NHL is an incredibly diverse league with over 7,500 players suiting up in at least one game, representing more than 40 countries around the world. And as the game of hockey continues to grow, that number will increase. So with that said, and because we're excited that NHL players will return to the Olympics in 2026, today we're taking a look at the greatest NHL player of all time from every country. Just to make things clear, we'll be basing this on which country players were born in. Citizenships can get confusing. For example, Danny Heatley represented Canada on the international stage, but was in fact born in Germany. As for countries that have only ever had one representative, we'll touch on them in the end. Austria, Thomas Vanek. The left winger played 1,029 games in the league and recorded 789 points. He spent time with the Buffalo Sabres, New York Islanders, Montreal Canadiens, Minnesota Wild, Detroit Red Wings, Florida Panthers, Vancouver Canucks, and Columbus Blue Jackets. With the Buffalo Sabres, the team that drafted him 5th overall in 2003, Vanek was a two-time 40-goal scorer and served as co-captain for a brief period of time. His 5th overall selection is the highest an Austrian player has ever been chosen. Belarus, Ruslan Salei. Drafted 9th overall in 1996, the defenseman played 917 games and recorded 204 points with the Anaheim Ducks, Florida Panthers, Colorado Avalanche, and Detroit Red Wings. A primarily defensive defenseman, Salei also put up solid offensive numbers. He played a tough game and didn't mind getting physical in the corners and in front of the net. 1 year after leaving the NHL, Salei tragically passed away in a plane crash with his KHL team. Brazil, Robin Rhaegar. Another stay-at-home defenseman, Rhaegar was drafted 19th overall in 1998. He played for the Calgary Flames for 11 years, also suiting up for the Buffalo Sabres and Los Angeles Kings. He won the Stanley Cup with the LA Kings in 2014 and was the youngest nominee for the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy in NHL history. In 1,089 games played, he recorded 199 points. The only other Brazilian-born NHL player was goaltender Mike Greenlay, but he only played 2 games. Canada, Wayne Gretzky. We all knew this one was coming. Gretzky is simply the greatest hockey player of all time. While Canada has produced a good share of the NHL's all-time greats, none come close to Gretzky. The Great One played in 20 seasons for the Edmonton Oilers, Los Angeles Kings, St. Louis Blues, and New York Rangers. Gretzky sits atop every meaningful offensive category, often miles ahead of the player ranked second. His trophy case includes 4 Stanley Cups, 10 Art Ross trophies, 2 Conn Smythes, 9 Harts, 5 Lady Bings, a Lester Patrick, and 5 Ted Lindsay Awards. His number 99 is retired league-wide for good reason. Czechia, Jaromír Jágr. As of this year, Jaromír Jágr has played in a staggering 37 professional seasons and suited up in over 2,000 games, and he's still going in his home country. Jágr has had the longest playing career in professional ice hockey history. Between the 1990-91 and 2017-18 seasons, he spent time with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Washington Capitals, New York Rangers, Philadelphia Flyers, Dallas Stars, Boston Bruins, New Jersey Devils, Florida Panthers, and Calgary Flames. As one of the greatest goal scorers in NHL history, the 1990 5th overall pick has put up 1,921 points in 1,733 total games. Jágr has won 2 Stanley Cups, 5 Art Ross trophies, 1 Hart, 3 Ted Lindsay Awards, and 1 Bill Masterton. He is the most productive European player who has ever played in the National Hockey League. We also have to give a quick honorable mention to Dominic Hasek, one of the greatest goaltenders in NHL history. Denmark, Frans Nielsen. Frans Nielsen spent 15 years in the NHL between the New York Islanders and Detroit Red Wings, and was the first Danish citizen to play in the league. Nielsen was a prime example of how value can extend far beyond statistics as a very defensively sound forward. In 925 games played, Nielsen put up 473 total points. Finland, Teemu Selanne. The Finnish Flash was taken 10th overall by the original Winnipeg Jets, also playing for the Anaheim Ducks, San Jose Sharks, and Colorado Avalanche. Selanne is the highest scoring Finn in NHL history and one of the highest overall in league history. He holds scoring records for both the Winnipeg, Arizona franchise and the Anaheim Ducks. Selanne scored 50 goals in a season 3 times and topped 100 points on 4 occasions. He won a Stanley Cup, Calder Trophy, Rocket Richard, and Bill Masterton. France, Paul McLean. Born on a NATO military base in France, McLean played 11 seasons in the NHL with the St. Louis Blues, original Winnipeg Jets, and the Detroit Red Wings. He scored over 30 goals in nearly every one of those seasons and finished his career with 673 points in 719 games played. His best season offensively came in 1984-85 when he put up 101 points. McLean is probably better known for his coaching career, as he won the Jack Adams Award in 2013 with the Ottawa Senators. Germany, Leon Draisaitl. Yes, Danny Heatley did score 50 in 07, but it's definitely Leon. Drafted 3rd overall in 2014, Draisaitl is in his 10th season with the Edmonton Oilers and is in the conversation for 2nd best player in the world today, behind, of course, teammate Connor McDavid. He's a consistent 100-plus point player and has won an Art Ross, Hart Trophy, and Ted Lindsay Award. He set a Stanley Cup playoff record with 5 consecutive games of at least 3 points in the Oilers' run to the 2022 Western Conference Finals. With Draisaitl still in his prime, it's safe to say the best is still to come. Italy, Luca Sbisa. The defenseman played for the Philadelphia Flyers, Anaheim Ducks, Vancouver Canucks, Vegas Golden Knights, New York Islanders, Winnipeg Jets, and Nashville Predators. He was best known for his dependability and appetite for physical play, recording 113 points in 549 games. Sbisa is now a development coach for the San Jose Sharks. Kazakhstan, Evgeni Nabokov. The goaltender spent 14 seasons in the NHL with the San Jose Sharks, New York Islanders, and Tampa Bay Lightning. He took home the Calder Trophy in 2001 and was voted a finalist for the Vezina Trophy in 2008. In his first 9 seasons in San Jose, Nabokov became the team leader in nearly every goaltending category, including games played, wins, and shutouts. Nabokov became the first European goalie to score a goal and the first goalie in NHL history to score a power play goal when he shot the puck into an empty net against the Vancouver Canucks in 2002. Nabokov's best season came in 2007-08 when he led the NHL in 77 games and 46 wins. Latvia, Sandis Ozolinsh. This offensive defenseman played for the San Jose Sharks, Colorado Avalanche, Carolina Hurricanes, Florida Panthers, Anaheim Ducks, and New York Rangers. He is the all-time leader for goals, assists, points, and games played by a Latvian in the NHL. Ozolinsh won the Stanley Cup with the Avalanche in 1996 and was a Norris Trophy finalist in 1997. He also holds several Avalanche and Sharks franchise records. In 875 games played, he recorded 464 points. Lithuania, Danis Zubris. Zubris was the first Lithuanian player to dress in 1,000 NHL games, playing a middle 6 forward role for 6 teams: the Philadelphia Flyers, Montreal Canadiens, Washington Capitals, Buffalo Sabres, New Jersey Devils, and San Jose Sharks. He went to the Stanley Cup Final 3 times in his 19-year career and recorded 591 points in 1,293 total games. The Netherlands, Ed Beers. Eddie Beers played in 250 NHL games for the Calgary Flames and St. Louis Blues between 1982 and 1986. The left winger was nearly a point per game, recording 210 total, but his NHL career was cut short by injury. Nigeria, Ruben Nader. The defenseman was the first Nigerian-born player to play in the NHL, suiting up in 69 games and recording 5 points with the Buffalo Sabres, New York Rangers, and Atlanta Thrashers between 1996 and 2000. He wasn't afraid to drop the gloves and was a nasty fighter. He wins by default as the only other Nigerian player, Akim Aliu, only played 7 games. Norway, Matt Zuccarello. Zuccarello is one of 9 Norwegians to play in the NHL and the only to ever play in the Stanley Cup Final. He's played for the New York Rangers and Dallas Stars and has been a member of the Minnesota Wild since the 2019-20 season. In 822 games played, Zuccarello has recorded 627 points, his most productive season coming in 2021-22 when he recorded 79. Poland, Mariusz Sarkowski. A consistent scorer, Sarkowski was the first Polish-born player to play in the NHL, suiting up for the Boston Bruins, Edmonton Oilers, New York Islanders, Montreal Canadiens, and Toronto Maple Leafs. He scored between 20 and 35 goals in 6 separate seasons and finished his career with 435 points in 745 games played. Russia, Alexander Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin is perhaps the greatest goal scorer in NHL history, and sitting in second place, has a chance to overtake Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL goal record of 894. He already passed the Great One for the most 40-goal seasons in NHL history, with 13 on March 21st, 2023. In 1,408 games with the Washington Capitals, he has put up 1,534 total points. He led the Caps to their only Stanley Cup in 2018, and his individual awards include 3 Hart Trophies, 9 Rocket Richards, 1 Conn Smythe, a Calder, and 3 Ted Lindsay Awards. His trademark one-timer from the top of the left circle is one of the most famous shots in NHL history, but at 6'3", 236 pounds, Ovi is a combination of speed, skill, and power, the likes of which the league has rarely seen. Serbia, Ivan Boldarev. This center played for the Boston Bruins, California Golden Seals, Chicago Blackhawks, Atlanta Flames, Vancouver Canucks, and Detroit Red Wings. He recorded 866 points in 1,052 total games. He put up impressive offensive numbers, his career high coming in 1983-84 with 83 points. Boldarev had his name engraved on the 1970 Stanley Cup, won by the Bruins, despite not playing a single playoff game that year, as the NHL tightened this policy the following year. Slovakia, Stan Mikita. Widely regarded as the best center of the 1960s, Stan Mikita played 22 seasons for the Chicago Blackhawks, his number 21 now retired and hanging in the rafters of the United Center. He won the Stanley Cup in 1961, and his individual accolades include 4 Art Ross trophies, 2 Harts, 2 Lady Bings, and a Lester Patrick. He was the first Slovakian to lift Lord Stanley's mug and recorded 1,467 points in 1,396 games. Slovenia, Anže Kopitar. The current captain of the Los Angeles Kings was the first Slovene to play in the NHL. He's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion in 2012 and 2014, and is regarded as one of the best defensive forwards in the NHL, winning the Selke Trophy twice in 2016 and 2018. Other awards include 2 Lady Byng trophies and a Marc Messier Leadership Award. In 1,357 games, Kopitar has recorded 1,194 points. He has led the LA Kings in scoring in all but 2 seasons, and is 4th in franchise history in points, goals, and assists. South Korea, Richard Park. Drafted 50th overall by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 1994, Park became the second South Korean-born player in the NHL after Jim Pake, who was coincidentally also drafted by the Penguins. Park also spent time with the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, Philadelphia Flyers, Minnesota Wild, Vancouver Canucks, and New York Islanders. In 738 games, the right winger recorded 241 points. Sweden, Nicklas Lidström. Widely regarded as one of the greatest defensemen of all time, Lidström spent 20 years in a Red Wings jersey and captained the team for his final 6 seasons. He led the Red Wings to 4 Stanley Cups in 1997, 98, 2002, and 2008. He took home the Conn Smythe in 2002 and won a staggering 7 Norris trophies, tied for the second most won with Doug Harvey, behind only Bobby Orr. The Red Wings never missed the playoffs during his career, the longest streak of playoff appearances for a player in NHL history. Lidström was the first European-born and trained captain of a Stanley Cup winning team, as well as the first European player named playoff MVP. He also leads all European players in games played with a single team with 1,564, in which he put up 1,142 points. Switzerland, Roman Josi. The current Predators captain has spent 13 seasons in Nashville and helped them win the President's Trophy in 2018. Josi continues to be one of the NHL's top offensive defensemen. He was voted winner of the 2020 Norris Trophy after putting up 65 points in 69 games. In 894 games played, Josi has recorded 666 points. Ukraine, Peter Bondra. One of the most prolific goal scorers of the 1990s, Bondra was the leading goal scorer in the history of the Washington Capitals until Alex Ovechkin came along, playing 14 seasons with the franchise and later for the Ottawa Senators, Atlanta Thrashers, and Chicago Blackhawks. His deepest playoff run came in 1997-98 when the Capitals advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals but were swept by the Detroit Red Wings. Bondra was a two-time 50-goal scorer and led the NHL in scoring for 2 seasons, 1994-95 and 1997-98. In 1,081 games played, Bondra recorded 892 points. The United Kingdom, Steve Thomas. Though he went undrafted, Steve Thomas went on to score more than 400 goals in a career that spanned 20 seasons, in which he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Chicago Blackhawks, New York Islanders, New Jersey Devils, Anaheim Ducks, and Detroit Red Wings. Thomas retired with 933 points in 1,235 games played. The United States, Patrick Kane. Number 88 is one of the most productive and decorated players of this era, playing a crucial role in the Chicago Blackhawks teams that won 3 Stanley Cups in 2010, 2013, and 2015, Showtime notably scoring the game-winning goal in 2010. That's as close as you can get to a modern-day dynasty in the NHL. Kane's individual achievements include the 2013 Conn Smythe Trophy, as well as a Hart, Art Ross, Ted Lindsay, and Calder Trophy. In 1,214 games, Kane has tallied 1,269 points, including 464 goals. Some of you may disagree with our take and opt for Mike Modano or Brett Hull, and that's totally valid. Uzbekistan, Arthur Kaliev. 22-year-old Arthur Kaliev is only the second Uzbekistanian-born player to play in the NHL. He was drafted 33rd overall by the Los Angeles Kings in 2019 and has recorded 70 points in his young career, in which he's played 183 games so far. Venezuela, Rick Chartra. The first Venezuelan-born NHL player, Rick Chartra spent 13 seasons in the NHL with the Montreal Canadiens, Los Angeles Kings, New York Rangers, and Edmonton Oilers. He is a 4-time Stanley Cup champion with the Habs and recorded 92 points in 420 games played. Now let's briefly go over the countries with only one representative to ever play in the NHL. We'll show their names on the screen right now. This includes Australia, the Bahamas, Belgium, Brunei, Bulgaria, Croatia, Estonia, Haiti, Indonesia, Jamaica, Japan, Lebanon, Paraguay, South Africa, Taiwan, and Tanzania. But do you agree with our list? Did we miss any honorable mentions? Let me know in the comments. Also, let us know if you'd like us to redo this video with just current NHL players as the 2026 Olympics draw closer and closer. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to click like if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe for more NHL content. We'll see you in the next video.